Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moltrap here coming at you with Game 2 of Sea.Really versus Shine Cal. And, yes, so far some exciting StarCraft playage here. We got a nice little 2-hatch lurker build that paid off for Shine in Game 1. And I'm really surprised it paid off because it looked like really knew it was coming. And he almost successfully defended it the first time. And then he forced Shine to kind of fall back and wait for a few more Zerglings. But then that second attack just managed to burst through there, and it was really close though. It could have gone either way, I think. I mean, Shine had a definite advantage there, but things have gone a little bit differently. Really might have pulled it out there. Anyway, this is game 2 of their best of 3 series. So if Shine manages to win this game, he will automatically advance to face Bisu in the second round of this group, I guess. And, you know, like I said, it's a round of 36. There's 36 players, and 24 of them are from the offline prelims, and they play each other in sets of 2, and then the winners of those face the other 12, and then that were qualified from the previous OSL, and then those 12 winners go on to join the 4 seeds to form what is actually the OSL. Even though this is kind of the precursor to the OSL. Well, oh, never mind. You're right. I just said you're right to myself because I corrected myself. This is actually considered the round of 36 now. It used to be that they considered the round previous to the OSL as not being actually the OSL. It was considered the ODT or the O whatever. There was a bunch of different stuff. It was pretty complicated. But now this is actually considered the round of 36 of the OSL. So I forgot about that. But yes, they will go on to the round of 16 of the OSL if they win. So yeah, Shine up 1-0. Really is going to have to bring something out here. This map is El Nino, another new OSL map. It's I don't really know too much about it. I haven't seen a lot about the new OSL maps, but it's kind of like, it looks a lot like Outsider, except it's on a snow map. It has a lot of expansions around the outside of the map, and you can squeeze probes through or something through and make an expansion in the middle, and there's like a double gas there and everything. So it's a lot like Outsider in a lot of ways. But yeah, it's also different in a lot of ways, and it's on a snow map. It's also a 3-person map, so it's got that going for it as well. So basically, you can think of it in the very basic level as like a snow version of Outsider, which I like Outsider. Outsider's provided some really fun games, so hopefully we'll get some fun games out of this map as well in the OSL. Anyway, maybe the OSL was like, hey, we want Outsider. We want Outsider too, but we want to make it our own Outsider. They told their map makers, hey, do Outsider, but make it different, so it's not a copy. I don't know. Anyway, yes. Oh yeah, a couple things I wanted to mention. First of all, I was not saying that Fantasy was bad. I was not saying that he's a bad player. I was saying that he's overrated. Some people were like, how can you say Fantasy sucks? It's like, well, I didn't say he sucks. Or maybe I did, but if I did, I didn't mean it in a literal sense. Yeah, I didn't mean it in that sense. I just meant that, you know, he's overrated. He has kind of like a one-trick pony. And, you know, if you shut down his trick, like Jaedong did, then that's all there is to it. And people were saying, oh, he's creative, he came up with his own build. Well, you know, he came up with a build, and he hasn't done anything else since. Any other build against any race since he came up with that build. So, you know, he's not that creative in that sense, especially if you consider that, you know, other players may have told him how to do that build. Anyway, so that's my defense of my argument against Fantasy. And Best, I don't know how you can defend Best if you've watched any of his games recently, or just look at his record recently. Yes, he's an OSL Silverist. Yes, he used to be one of the most dominant Protoss of all of the game, and now he sucks. So I'm not talking about the past. I'm talking about now. He's kind of bad these days. He doesn't win games very much. It's kind of how you determine if a player is good or not. So anyway, that's my defense of my comments against Best. We got Shine doing another 2-hatch lair build, and we got Really, it looks like, doing another similar build as well, going straight into an expansion, I believe. I'll have to wait for him to show his buildings again. Yeah, I thought I saw it Command Center before. Yeah, and this is a lot better map to defend as well. Before he was kind of playing it risky, where he had his Marines wandering around and he wasn't really protecting his command center very much. So this time it's a little bit easier for him to defend that position against Lings, but we're not seeing as many Lings, so it's not as big of a deal. But he's going for a 2-hatch build again, so I wonder if he's going to try the same build. Again, here he is trying to go in for some Lings. It looks like he's going to kill a couple Marines. Actually, very, very good job. Oh, the Marine does die after all. I thought he was going to be able to escape that Marine away. But still, a little bit of an attack. A couple Zerglings sacrificed to kill a single Marine. Looks like maybe actually even a few Zerglings. It's interesting, I just noticed, like I said, this is the first time I've actually commented and watched the game on this map. I just noticed those minerals on that expansion there. It looks like you can just walk around the side of them. I'm not sure. And there's also a mineral patch on the edge, which is thinner. So it will mine out faster for you to be able to get forces behind that patch into, like I said, the kind of the bases that are around the outside of the map. So, really has run his SCV out. I think he saw, I forgot to check, honestly, if he saw that spire or not. I was thinking about the map, and I forgot to check if he'd actually gone that. And is he going to set up a proxy? Yes, we're seeing a proxy hatchery base. It's kind of a proxy. It'll be good for sending out mutas or what have you, and just having a base nearby. It's not really proxy in the sense that it's, right in front of his base or anything like that, but it's a really interesting choice for a base position. It's going to be both easy to defend and easy to attack, especially if he gets siege tanks. All he has to do is plant siege tanks in his own base in order to attack that base, and it'll just be completely destroyed very, very quickly. It'll probably also be difficult for him to spot where it is, though. Comset going off on the main... on the expansion, probably on the main as well, just to check that spire timing. He sees the spires up. He's trying to move out a little bit to put some pressure on with those medic Marines, but at the same time, he kind of knows he needs to stay at home and protect his base with those medic Marines. So we're seeing 2-hatch muta this time. So yeah, it looks like you can just walk behind those minerals, which is going to be really handy, because otherwise it'd be really difficult to defend that base against Mutalisk Harass. But yeah, so that has some implications. It still means it'll be easier to try and get those bases around behind and that kind of thing, around the edges. Anyway, here comes the Mutalisk from Shine. Time to see what he's made of with his Mutalisk Harass. All we've seen so far from him is cheese. Moving in here, taking a couple pot shots. I think he could have done better than that, actually. It looked like he was going for either probably some kind of patrol or targeting Mutalisk Micro instead of the usual Mutalisk Micro with hold position. I thought he had a good, 9-10 Mutalisk there, where he should have just done the hold position Micro to spread out his damage a little bit more. But the fact that it took him so many hits on that turret means maybe he doesn't have as many Mutalisks as I thought he does. So here he comes in. He is, in fact, target firing single Marines, it looks like, because his damage is not spreading out at all. So maybe he's only gone for several Mutalisks, and he could just be going for like 6 or 7 Mutalisks, and then going for expansion instead. Trying to do a more longer-term build and just using as few Mutalisks as possible. But again, I'd have to know exactly how many mutas are in that group to really tell kind of what he's doing here. But a really kind of an interesting build, though, going for a 2-hatch muta and then going into an econ thing instead, going with their 3rd hatchery. But it makes a lot of sense to, I don't know if it was based on this or not, but really has a lot of turrets around, and a lot of defense against Mutalisks, so it would have been a lot harder, would have been pretty difficult for him to get in there and actually do a lot of damage. But he's got that 3rd gas going now, so he may also decide to go for a lot more Mutalisks now that he's got that 3rd gas.